welcome to another deep dive. Today we're taking a really fascinating look at how creativity, traditional knowledge, and modern technology can come together.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're digging into something really unique. It's a personal account from an artist, Bill Helin. It covers his time as an artist in residence over in Hong Kong and, well, what happened after that. So our mission here is to unpack this mix of, cultural exchange, some serious physical challenges, and how he found this surprising new path.
Yeah, and you get that intensity right away. Bill talks about landing back in Vancouver after, 2.5 months, and just feeling like intoxicated by the clean air. Big contrast.
Yeah.
Especially coming from living 23 stories up, tiny little 500 square foot place in Aberdeen, the fish market district. Really paints a picture.
Okay, so his main goal there, his primary mission, it was about sharing his Tsimshian Indian heritage. That's First Nations group from the Pacific Northwest, and teaching the art of totem pole carving. He was at the Canadian International School, CDNIS, and get this, 2 massive 15-foot BC red cedar logs were shipped over. Yeah. He worked with over 1850 students, shared his Raven storybook too. He called CDNIS one of the most amazing learning facilities he'd seen. Said the kids were polite, great staff.
And beyond the school, it's interesting hearing about Hong Kong itself from his perspective. The city's geography, it's all scattered hills, but surprisingly green too, like 45% green space, he said. Little mini escapes.
Yeah.
Getting around is super easy, apparently. Taxis, buses, constantly. But, there's a downside. All that traffic, plus coal power, it feeds into this permanent smog bank you described.
Right. Okay, speaking of intense, let's talk about his daily routine. Trying to sleep way up on the 23rd floor, lots of noise. Then the commute, sometimes over 296 stairs up to the school. Carrying a 20-pound pack, just thinking about that.
Oh, yeah.
And then the actual work, 10 to 12 hours a day. Grueling stuff, chainsaw work, chopping on these 600-year-old trees. He did say the kids' questions, while sometimes maybe a bit overwhelming, they gave him extra energy and inspiration.
And that leads to the challenges, both creative and just practical. You'd think Hong Kong, right, massive shipping hub. Finding tools should be easy. Apparently not. He actually found it, pretty hard to get the specific supplies he needed. He even called it the Mecca of cheap goods, but still.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, you had to kind of make do a lot, improvise. And all that physical strain, the carving, it really took a toll. He realized his body just can't handle that kind of hard labor anymore. Led to a tough recovery and, rethinking things.
Okay, so here's where the story takes a really interesting turn. Just a week before leaving Hong Kong, he gets contacted by this company, Strong Nations. They focus on authentic Aboriginal books and resources, and this led to a whole new direction for him. His new role, illustrating guided reading books for kids, which actually fits right in with his passion for comics, storybooks, animation.
Yeah, and this shift is significant. It kind of makes you ask, right, how can a change like that, maybe forced by physical limits, actually push things forward? Their goal is big, getting authentic reading materials into schools across Canada, eventually the U.S. too.
Yeah.
Especially important for, remote communities that often lack funding. They're even working on digital stuff, interactive games. It's about empowering Indigenous voices through education.
That's fantastic. And he did share one really beautiful moment from Hong Kong before we wrap that part up. The totem pole blessing ceremony at the school, CDNIS. It mixed Chinese traditions with his own Tsimshian traditions. The Canadian Consulate General even spoke. But for him, the real highlight was his youngest daughter, Candace, dancing while he did the drum blessing for the totems.
What a moment. Yeah, his whole journey is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Moving from that incredibly demanding physical art form, carving huge totems, to this new way of creating, illustrating stories. It aligns with his passion, but also has this huge educational impact now. It's really a story of adaptation.
Absolutely. And it makes you think, doesn't it? Bill's story shows how sometimes life throws these unexpected curves, especially if you take those paths less traveled. So here's something to consider. How might a big challenge in your own life, maybe a setback, actually open a door? Could it lead you to discover a different calling or, a new way to contribute? Just like Bill shifted from carving wood that stands tall to illustrating stories that will shape young minds for years. It's a powerful reminder about finding new purpose.